Here we go. Hello, D-Gens. Welcome to Degenerate Takes. I, of course, am the Brofict one, AJ. Happy Monday, February 2nd, 2026. Hope you're having a great start to your week. I know I am. Well, kind of. I don't know how I really feel about it. We're going to talk about some head coaching hires that happened over the weekend, and one that I do have some issue with. So before I do that, though, do just want to take a moment, shout out to everyone here on Rumble, over on YouTube, X, TikTok. Y'all are the best. If you like what we're cooking, please hit those like buttons, hit the follow buttons. Does help out a lot more than you know. But as I alluded to earlier, two head coaching hires did happen over the weekend, and one of them involving my Arizona Cardinals. Let's go ahead and get to it. Arizona Cardinals have hired Mike LaFleur as the new head coach. No, not Matt LaFleur. He is still the coach over there at Green Bay, but Mike LaFleur will be the head coach for the Arizona Cardinals. Most recently, obviously, was the Rams offensive coordinator there with Sean McVay, and does have a history not only with McVay but also with a certain Kyle Shanahan. Believe it or not, first job in the NFL after being an offensive assistant at his alma mater, Elmhurst. He went to the Cleveland Browns in 2014, and he was under offensive coordinator Kyle Shanahan. Who would have thunk of that? LaFleur then followed Shanahan to Atlanta. Yep, for the 2015-2016 season. Then that's when Kyle Shanahan got his new shiny job as the 49ers head coach, where LaFleur accepted a position as the passing game coordinator and wide receivers coach for the 2017 season. Now, that did continue on for a while until he went with another Shanahan disciple in Robert Saleh from the 49ers to the Jets, where he was offensive coordinator for the Jets in 2021. Zach Wilson, that whole thing happened. Not the best stuff, but hey, what you going to do about it? Then, of course, signing with the Rams, and Sean McVay, January 27th, 2023, has been with them ever since, until yesterday, where he did sign as the Cardinals' new head coach for the foreseeable future. Now, this is... This has kind of got me, I don't know, flustered, frustrated, upset, because this is what I probably should have expected from the Arizona Cardinals. This is what I should have expected from my Cardinals. This should be what I expect from my Arizona Cardinals. Yeah, and it's like, I'm not even mad, bro. Like, I'm not even mad. I'm not disappointed. It's just like, of course, this is what happened. Of course, this is what happened. Of course, we let every other head coach possible get signed before we're even going to sign a head coach. Then the one guy we're really going after, Clint Kubiak, decides, I'm actually going to go for the number one overall pick. He'll be signing with the Raiders after the Super Bowl coming up. And we go with Mike LaFleur. And now, what are my issues with Mike LaFleur? I mean, you read his resume and everything. He's a guy that has been around. Not only has he been around, he's been around a lot of big brain football guys, if you will, in Shanahan, in McVay. Say what you want about Saleh, but Saleh is definitely up there too. And we've seen, the Shanahan tree have a little, what am I looking for? Hit and misses in the head coaching trees and everything like that. But at the end of the day, the biggest issue with the Mike LaFleur signing is that this is the best the Cardinals could do. This is absolutely the best the Arizona Cardinals and Bidwell could have done. There's no one else wanted the job. Sean McDermott and Mike Tomlin would rather sit at home. So many people pulled their names from the Arizona Cardinals list, taking other jobs. Daboll didn't even give us the time of day. I mean, it's absolutely the kind of bullshit you should expect from the Arizona Cardinals. Because no, tell me, what are we selling here? What is the sales pitch to get someone to come to the Arizona Cardinals right now? Besides the fact that it doesn't snow, besides the fact that the weather's great, besides everything that doesn't have to do with football, what's the sales pitch to get someone to Arizona? Well, hey, we've got a quarterback with a shit ton of guaranteed money for the next 2 years. We benched him halfway through last year and let Jacoby Brissett run wild. And we don't really know if we want to trade him, if there even is a trade market for him, if we're going to cut him and just eat the cap, yada, yada. So yeah, come on down. Oh, we also have an offense that, can kind of work sometimes. A third-year receiver in Michael Marvin Harrison Jr., who sometimes catches the ball, sometimes it doesn't, just kind of depends how he's feeling that day. You've got a solid backfield with James Conner. He's going to be back and healthy, hopefully, for the start of the season. Michael Wilson really stepping into his own in the end of this. They're fine, great stuff. You got Buda Baker. He's an absolute dog. Then there's the issues. Special teams, secondary, lines on both sides of the football, O-line, D-line. And again, as a Cardinals fan, the only thing I want for the draft this year is just a bunch of big boys to protect our quarterback and get to the quarterback. That's all I want out of the draft this year. But again, we got a long way to go until we get to draft talk. But again, what's the sales pitch? How do you convince someone to come to Arizona where there's just nothing positive really about it? There's nothing positive about this Arizona team because at the end of the day, you have an owner who doesn't want to upgrade facilities, who doesn't really care about the players and the families. I mean, let's go ahead and pull up, the last players of report card and the one that we'll be getting in the next couple of weeks. The Cardinals are at the bottom of the list and have been since they started doing this. Michael Faria, yeah. Your team is super dry and stale like your state. Scotty, that's a good one, brother. That's a good one there, Scotty. I'll give you that one, man. I mean, and I can't yeah. Yeah, because what are we going to try to do? What are we going to try to do? Is Mike LaFleur, does he really think he can fix Kyler Murray? I mean, this is going to be Kyler Murray's third head coach now, and there's no real progress being made either way. The fact that Jacoby Brissett is the best our offense has looked in 3 years says a lot. Okay, it really does. And now Pet Zigna, you can say what you want to about his play calling. Have fun with him, Lions. I'm glad he's not in the building anymore. But man, it's just so frustrating because this could be, one of those destination free agency places. It really could be if the owner gave half of a damn. But instead, he's okay with overcharging season tickets for a team that's going to go out there and do the bare minimum because that's all they can do. And, and still gouging you at the concession stand, still trying to sell you jerseys, still trying to keep Kyler Murray moving. And it's just not going to work. It hasn't worked. It's not going to work. Now, do I have some optimism that maybe, hey, he's been under Shanahan for so long. Maybe he's ready. Maybe this is his time and he can make his mark and really, start something here in Arizona. Is that something that I think can happen? Yeah. Yeah, there's an old saying about blind squirrels and nuts, you know what I mean? It's absolutely possible, but, the issue then starts, look at the Arizona list of head coaches since Bruce Arians and Ken Whisenhunt. That was the last time this team looked like a team and looked like a competitive organization was when Bruce Arians took over. Steve Wilks comes in, and we can him after a year after the Josh Rosen experience. Cliff Kingsbury comes in with Kyler Murray, fresh off the number 1 overall pick. And then nothing comes of that. We fire his ass. Jonathan Gannon comes in. What happens there? Absolutely nothing. We fire him. And now we got Mike LaFleur coming in. What do Cliff Kingsbury, Jonathan Gannon, and Mike LaFleur all have in common? The Arizona Cardinals have been their first head coaching job in the NFL. First head coaching job, period. Not even college, not even Pee-wee, not even high school. We are giving the reins to guys who have never done this before. This is not the SWAC. This is not the MAC. This is not, the proving ground where you can prove it. No, this is the NFL. This is multi-billion-dollar organizations going head-to-head, 17 games in the regular season every single Sunday. And we are giving the reins, the keys to the building, to guys who have absolutely no idea what they're doing. And off of a prayer and a whim, we think they can step in here and be a head coach. I mean, come on, bro. That's the issue. And why is that an issue? Well, because we can't bring anyone else in. Bruce Arians, that was at the end of Bruce Arians' tenure was the sign of everything going downhill for Arizona. Just absolutely downhill. And then we see where we are today. It's beyond frustrating, and the only thing that can help, of course, is if the owner sells. But Bidwell will never sell. Want to know why? Because we're right across the street from California. New Mexico has fans. Colorado has fans of different teams. Why does everyone come to Arizona? Well, it's cheaper than going to our hometown game, everything's cheaper because the team sucks ass. Parking's cheaper, tickets are cheaper. I don't know about concessions. Bidwell does have a pretty tight grip on concessions, but it's it's a joke. It's an absolute joke. Visiting fans cannot wait to come to Arizona because it's the cheapest ticket in town. Because this team is absolutely awful. It's absolutely awful. And again, I was talking earlier today to a person who's had season tickets to the Arizona Cardinals for the last 30 years or 20 years, something like that, whatever the math. And her and her husband are thinking about not renewing them. Because, again, what is there to look forward to? Trey McBride continuing to be an absolute standout. He's going to request a trade eventually. If not this offseason. Michael Wilson will probably be in the same boat. I doubt Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to re-sign. I mean, again, what is there to look forward to with the Arizona Cardinals? Absolutely nothing. There's nothing to look forward to. New beginnings, new this, new that. We're on a GM in his fourth year who hasn't re-signed a new deal yet, who's probably on his way out as well. Again, this is Arizona is doing everything backwards, and unfortunately, Arizona is starting to fall into that trap of being like the Jets, being like the Giants, being like the Titans, and maybe I'm just delusional and we're already there and I can't see it because I'm blind in this team. But I'll be completely straightforward with you right now. Even if we have a spectacular draft class, and I mean an A+++ draft class, I'm still not going to be excited for next season. I don't care if Joe Burrow's walking through that door. I don't. It's at the end of the day, the Cardinals have proven to me over the last 8 years? No, 9 years. This has been 9 years of disappointment, 9 years of torment. Yeah, 2018 was when Wilkes took over. And granted, you know what I mean? Like the years even with Wisenhut had that one really good year, obviously, getting screwed over by the Steelers stuff. But Bruce Arians had a lot of good years, and they were winning years, and at least you felt hope, and that we were taking a step, going to that next level. But we're not, and we haven't been. Oh, well, if he can unlock Kyler Murray can't get unlocked. We've seen Kyler Murray play his best football. And that's as much of a compliment as I can give the guy. We have seen him play his best football in the NFL. And it's not enough. It's just not. And especially with the line we have and everything. A lot of issues with Arizona, but it starts from the top down. Again, the most depressing thing I think I've ever watched in my life was in-season Hard Knocks with the Arizona Cardinals. Oh, my God. What they get to sit through and deal with on a daily basis with the facilities and everything. And the facility just looks like an old-ass, elementary school that was abandoned, And then the Cardinals were like, Bidwell it was probably a cheap buy for Bidwell. And he's like, oh, we'll take it. And then they just didn't update anything. Like, God. And then you get the guy that I wanted. You get the guy that I really wanted. I wanted Clint Kubiak. I wanted Clint Kubiak so bad. I really did. I thought, if anything, Josh the Great. Thank you for the follow, brother. Appreciate it, dog. I really wanted Kubiak. I thought Kubiak would have been the guy that really sets everything straight. What he's been able to do this year with the Seattle offense and with Sam Darnold, maybe that's the type of love that Kyler needed. But he's going to go to the Raiders, which I don't blame him. Again, what's the sales pitch to come to Arizona? At least at the Raiders, it's like, hey, you have an owner that wants to win, a minority owner who has one and wants to win more. And now you've got the number 1 overall pick. And if the Raiders are smart, which I think Tom Brady might, pull an ear or two and say, hey, let's get Josh, 6 days till we get 7. Okay. Hey, big show's coming out later this week. I don't know, man. The Ops are good. But a lot's going to be on Seattle's mind. Clint Kubiak, he's probably already game planning for what's going on with, how he's going to take over the Raiders and everything like that, trying to stay focused on the Super Bowl. But, hey, you're about to become a head coach, brother. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. But again, why wouldn't he go to the Raiders over the Cardinals? Yeah, we have the number 3 overall pick. Yeah, we might have a couple of more pieces that are a little bit nicer, but ownership doesn't care. Ownership doesn't care. At the Raiders, again, owner wants to win, minority owner wants to win and has won. Let's go there because they're going to give me all the resources I need. They're going to give me everything I need in order to be successful. And that's what the Raiders are going to give Kubiak. And Kubiak is going to get that from Tom, from uh, Mark Davis. Reed. Shit. Is it Mark? No, Mark. Why can't I remember his name? I can see his haircut. Anyway. But yeah, so the Raiders, and I think the Raiders make a great choice there. They're going to get Mendoza in there with the first overall pick. He'll be able to step up and I think grow in a good environment, have a hell of a running back in Genty who's just, sickened with a bad offensive line this year. The offensive line can't do shit. There's only so much a running back can do. But I think Kubiak getting in there and being able to work with a running back like Genty, you know what I mean? He's had so much success in the run game this year with Charbonnet. And, God, what is wrong with my brain today? Walker. Golly. That I think he's going to be able to unlock Genty and take him to the next level there. I think the Raiders are definitely on the upswing here, and there's a lot of bad teams that are on the upswing with these head coaching hires. Tennessee Titans with Robert Saleh and getting Daboll in there as the offensive coordinator. With how Cam Ward looked, you get a younger team around there that can catch a football. Cam Ward's going to be looking great, bro. Don't you worry about that. And then the Raiders with Kubiak and everything. And then there's the Arizona Cardinals. The Patriots fan just take my. I think your DC's fine, brother. I think your DC's fine. And what, Josh, I'm going to talk about the Patriots for a second here. I'm not going to talk about the Super Bowl. Let's talk about how incredible it is the run they're on. You know what I mean? They sucked for a year. The whole end of Belichick's career happens, and then you get a guy in there just for a year. You let Vrabel sit at home and chill after he gets fired from the Titans for some reason. And yeah, you go ahead and bring him in. Drake May ends up being a guy. You keep that defense running solid. I mean, it's incredible what the Patriots have been able to do in the span of 2 years, and something that every single organization should strive for. But there's not a Mike Vrabel everywhere. There's not a Robert Kraft at owner everywhere. And, and again, it speaks to the type of organization that Kraft wins. And it's top down, baby. It's top down. And the Patriots are proving that yet again. Unbelievable. The Patriots are back so quick. Unbelievable. But anyway, that is all the time I've got today. Just wanted to hop on and in Mike we trust. I don't blame you, Josh. I don't blame you, bro. This is unbelievable what Vrabel's doing. Unbelievable. And then what, McDaniel just coming back to the Holy Land to go ahead and just rip it apart with May. I mean, and then Stephon Diggs suddenly isn't as much of a diva anymore. Well, that's what happens when you win football games. Anyway, thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. Shout out to everyone here on Rumble, over on YouTube, X, TikTok. Y'all are the best. If you like what we're cooking, please hit those follow buttons. Hit the like buttons. It does help out a lot more than you know. But with all of that, have a great rest of your Monday. Have a great rest of your week. We'll be live with, Waste Management Open coverage this week, along with all the Super Bowl content that you can consume. So get ready for it. Hit that like button. Hit the follow button. Have a great rest of your Monday. Good luck. God bless. I'll see you guys next time on Degenerate Take.